Today, we're talking about what will it take for you to scale your company.
First off, marketing is everything. Build your tribe, your team, find your people who believe in what you believe in. For every dollar you spend on marketing, you want $5 back.
Kati Whitledge, she's podcaster, author, dynamic speaker. Maya has matched over 500,000 consumers with beauty professionals, generating over 25 million in revenue for its partners.
Nicole, we're so excited about today's guest, Kati Whitledge. Now, I've known Kati Whitledge for quite some time. I've sat on her podcast as a guest, and she's a brilliant interviewer, brilliant podcaster. She's a great listener. She's a mother to children. She's a major entrepreneur, very successful. But you know what? As we all know, success doesn't come easy. You know, it comes with a lot of milestone. So I want to share Kati's success, but I also want to share Kati's wisdom. And the special thing about Kati is that she is really know how to acquire a client and how to keep a client. What does it take to have the layers of success in business? And so she's shared with us something really special about the very first time what taught her to grow her company. And for her to leave the chair, to leave the operation and build layers until she was able to scale her company. So today we're talking about what will it take for you to scale your company, whether you're a mother with 2, 3, 4 children, or you're just an entrepreneur that just started. You want to listen to that.
Yeah, 100%. We're so excited to have Kati Whitledge on today's podcast. You know, she's a speaker, podcaster, author, founder, CEO, you know, something you can definitely relate to, Ronit. Maya is what she's a CEO and founder of. That is a cutting edge client recruitment and marketing platform designed for the beauty and wellness industry. And under Kati's leadership, Maya has matched over 500,000 consumers with beauty professionals, generating over 25 million in revenue for its partners. So Kati not only has walked the walk and talked the talk, but she's also just somebody that's very down to earth, vulnerable, transparent, no nonsense. And so she's going to be really opening up with our listeners today through this podcast and sharing what it took for her to get to where she's at today and to build this company. So we're super excited.
And what I love the most about it, that this time, you know, as always, she's the interviewer. She is on the other side of the podcast. This time, you guys all get to know her true story. Now, for everybody who just listening, most of the time when you come in and you listen to a podcast, which is so great, so many times we forget to press on the button subscribe. So please, please, please subscribe to our podcast and share it with anyone. By doing that, but subscribing to our show, you allow us to even get more great people into the show. So subscribe and touch the button below and share it with whoever you can think and listen to this incredible podcast.
Thank you, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. You know, it's so good to be in this room, right? Because in this room, I have probably 2 of my very most dear women. And of course, with Nicole, I feel like she's part of my DNA. But Kati, there's something really special about us meeting a few years back. And when I say a few years, I go all the way to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And when we were in New Orleans, you were a whole different person, a complete different person. I remember Maya was there before it was even Maya. I think it was your first year that you had that. And when I met with you, it was Carrie Davis, it was you, it was me. And I said, Kati, we got to hang together. one of these days, I don't know much about you. There's something about you that I know that you and I have to spend some time together. And it was, I think when I was looking at you, I was reading in your face something that you don't really get to see in many faces. And that is major grit and major determination and a big, wonderful smile. Mm-hmm. So I think I was right, because look, I don't know how long. Is it 10 years? Is it 10 years? Is that what it is?
Gosh, close. It's more than 5 years.
Yes.
More than 5, maybe less than 10.
Well, for sure it's more than 5 years, because when did you bring Maya into
it was either I think it was either 2018 or it might have been 2018 that we were in New Orleans together. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So what's the count?
That's 7, isn't it? 7 years?
7 years.
That's quick math. What else you guys got for me?
We're glad you're here, Nicole.
Yeah, me too. Especially in profit and profitability. It's a profitable life, yeah. But we are talking about significant, right? What it is to be in a profitable life podcast. So I'm glad to have you here, Kati.
Well, I'm super thankful to be here, and I'll never forget when we were in the gym together, and I was determined, and I just kept feeling like this uphill battle, but I showed up, and we were on the elevator back up from our workouts, and I discovered that you were from Israel, and I looked at you, I'll never forget this, and I was like, it got emotional right away, and I was like, you are of the chosen people. And I know it was just, I don't know, something deeper in my heart about just having this heart for you. I already had a heart for you, but it was like something even deeper, and it's a spiritual level. So, yeah, I just have been a fan. I think that your book has helped so many people. I remember when it came out, we bought a bulk order to give to our community of mastermind owners, because I want the very best education in their hands. And I think financials are one of those things that we want to be good at, but sometimes are not confident or even embarrassed to say that it's not an area of strength for us. And so thank you for the work that you've done and how you support industry owners.
I love it, and thank you for it. But guess what? You're on the other seat today.
I know. Fine.
You are on the other seat today. Today is about Kati Whitledge. Now, this episode is sponsored by Salon Cadence, the only global advisory network helping salon and spa and med spa CEOs scale to 7 and 8 figures without a burnout. This is not a do-it-yourself program. This is do it with you and for you. From profit-first system to team-run leadership. First, we fix the numbers, then we create the wealth, then we focus on CEO mindset, and we build the process with your team to give you the ultimate freedom to become the true CEO and visionary you are. We have helped thousands grow widely successful for freedom-driven companies in beauty, wellness, and regenerative medicine. If you're ready to grow, scale, and live a wealthy life, visit saloncadence.com. Now, one of the most important things that you can invest in and not do it yourself, I highly recommend mysalonbooks.com. Salon owners that are tired of never knowing if you're actually profitable or where your money is going, on what your money is doing for you or against you. The team at My Salon Books takes the stress off your plate. They are specialized in salon booking, providing real-time insight and financial clarity so you can focus on what you do best, running a thriving salon. Here at Salon Cadence, we recommend mysalonbooks.com. It is the only bookkeeping management that utilizes the profit first the right way. So go to mysalonbooks.com to learn more and get free evaluation of your own books. So I love to start. Maybe Nicole, you go first, because I know your number one question.
My number one question. Well, I guess, Kati, we've got such a rich history together. I've known you for a few years just from doing the beauty conference circuit. We got to see you thriving at Data Driven this year. I think you sold out all the copies of your book that you had with you on. I don't even know if I got a book. I think I had to order it from you. I was like, Kati, where's a book? And you're like, don't have one. But you've come such a long way. And I think before we dive so deep into the success, I think it would be great to talk about the most challenging moments that you've experienced in business. What was happening? How did it feel? What was the unexpected turning point for you whenever it kind of felt like maybe you were going to hit rock bottom or you were like about to dip out, not sure if this journey was meant for you or if you should try something else. But you, like Ronit said, have a lot of grit. So I know that you've really pushed through some things, but what did it look like when it was its hardest?
Well, there's just a few moments that come to mind. So I'll kind of share all three because they're in different seasons of my industry career. And I'll never forget being this go-getter in beauty school. And the reason for that is because I had screwed off so many years of my younger life partying that I didn't take the traditional 4-year college route. I didn't technically graduate from my high school. Finishing beauty school was the first time I ever officially graduated anything and got to walk, and accept my diploma for that. And so that was so special to me. And I was on such a high, but the very first salon that I ever went to wasn't my place. I was told by the owner, like, we're letting you go. I'm sure we'll see you on stage somewhere, but my personality, I'm a high D on the disc. I'm a secondary I. And so it was just like trying to get after it. Let's make some sales. Let's get some appointment. Like I was very booked and busy. But I think it was almost like threatening in a way. And funny enough, I still have a good relationship with this owner. It was just like, we're going to let you go. I think we'll see you on stage someday, but this is not the right fit for our salon. And it was a very big, successful salon. I was only there 2 weeks and I felt like so devastated and rejected that was one of those moments that I thought, well, maybe this isn't for me. And it wasn't until I found an owner who allowed her eagle to soar. Sometimes we hire eagles on our team. By the way, I don't necessarily even coach owners or would advise owners to hire high Ds because that can be challenging. Maybe an S would be the right fit for them, somebody supportive and steady. But I found an owner who wasn't threatened by my go-getter, like, can I go do BNI? And she was like, yeah, you can. I wanted to be a part of all these things and learn and grow. That was everything. And then fast forward to, starting Meet Your Stylist was the first iteration of Maya. So before it was Maya, it was called Meet Your Stylist. And my very first hire to build the tech was kind of a cheap recommendation. And I didn't know what I didn't know about code. Here I was, a salon owner starting a software company, and I just trusted a friend's referral. And it wasn't great. I invested $30,000 of my own cash and it wasn't functioning. It couldn't go out the door and be used by other people. And I finally found a company in my area that could help me redevelop and relaunch it. And I was just out that $30,000. I had to start over. They said everything behind the scenes here are like a bunch of Band-Aids everywhere. This code is not great. And there was another leap of faith here. I'm going to put out another chunk of money to a new company that I hope you are going to do me right. And they got me to a certain point, and eventually I could bring in my own developers right to my team and move on even from that company. But there's just constantly been investment. But that very first, you think about playing like baseball. And imagine if you finally get to the big leagues and it's your very first time up to bat and you freaking strike out, right? You hope to hit a home run because you're that good. You feel like you have it in you. You feel like something inside of you is bigger than that just needs and wants to come out so badly. But you get up, you strike out. And those are the moments that you can't give up on yourself, because those are defining moments. And then I will share that I was and am a salon owner, and I survived and went through the COVID thing too. And the scariest part about COVID is we went from almost $1.6 million to under $1 million. We lost over $600,000 in 1 year of revenue. And I got down to only 6 stylists at one point. Now that wasn't even the breaking point. The breaking point was that after a year of trying to convince my analytical, logical husband, who had this big title, this big role, he was an engineer working on rugged computing systems for military environments. He had security code clearances that I never could know about. I convinced him to leave corporate America to join me in the family businesses. We worked together only 5 weeks before crap hit the fan and everything shut down. We were dependent now on our salon's health insurance. We had a 3-year-old at the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've just convinced this man to leave everything he's ever. Now, he took the 4-year traditional school route at an engineering specific school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He paid his own way to college. Let's call it $90,000 he invested in himself. Nobody helped him. And here he's willing to leave all that for his wife and what she has going on in the beauty industry. And I had finally gotten him to say, like, yes, this is the dreamer's path. I want to take a risk on it. And that risk came with a very scary season of drought where I didn't know if we could survive through that as a whole, as a family. And I felt such guilt and shame and embarrassment about it. And there were months that I would just cry and lay in bed, and I never went through a season of depression, but in hindsight, that was my season of depression. Like, I know what it feels like now to struggle to get out of bed and feel like I can show up. Throughout all these stressful times, I put on a ton of weight. I put on a ton of weight with my kids. I put on a ton of weight during COVID. I just basically hid and ate to fill the void and the pain, and didn't get out, didn't move my body, didn't do all the things that I do now. For basically, fear paralyzed me, but it didn't keep me down, by the grace of God. So those are 3 major moments that I thought, this is the end, this is it. And don't we have these little things happen? Now I'm like, nothing can compare to this. Like, and if I can get through this, I know that nothing is final. Like, we needed these things to happen to know that on the other side of every challenge is something better. We just have to persevere. We just have to have that endurance.
Wow.
Wow, I know. I want to say something really quick before we dive into that, because I'm sure that just sparked 1,000 things in Ronit. But I want to go back to one thing that you said, because I want the listeners to know what you're talking about. Tell me what the DISC personality assessment is, and do you use it for like your own team? Or is this something that you utilize throughout many areas of your life? Because I love it. If somebody wants to use this, I want them to be able to know what it is.
I've always loved marketing, of course, as you know. That's like my innate thing that I fall in love with. And marketing is based on communicating with people, and every person have their personality styles, right? So the DISC personality profiling is built into Maya. It's part of our matchmaker and how we connect humans with humans in this industry. And it really shows us how we communicate. Or do you tend to be outspoken and really communicative? Or do you tend to be more introverted? Are you a people person first and foremost, or are you project task focused first and foremost? We all care about humans, but naturally we might hone into task first, people second. It's okay. That's how different people are built. And when you're in a room, there are going to be people who are dominant, driven, determined, and they're just task focused first. That's the high D. I's are very inspirational. They're magnetic. They're all about the people. They love being on stage, having a light shine on them. They bring out the light in others. S's are your steady Eddies, oftentimes servant leaders who love to take care of people. They're very people focused. And then we have our C's, highly, highly analytical, logical people who are also very task-driven first and foremost.
So what do you use it for, Kati? So how do you use that for hiring? Obviously. I mean, they say that you would like to be in a room that obviously are smarter than you. How do you utilize the DISC assessment to literally help you hire whether this is a good match for your company or not? Because even though there's a different personalities, you still have to find out whether the three core principle for hiring, right? It's a great thing to talk about because it's one of the biggest challenges. If hiring was easy, then marriage was easy. But I feel like, and thank God for Maya, because it makes the marriage a bit better. But let's talk about, how do you use that to identify who's right for you or not?
Well, I think that it's like having a target in front of you. So if you think about profit first, you know up front before your P&L what you plan to set aside, and everything else has to come secondary to that. Like you pre-decide what your profits are going to be and that margin and whatnot, right? So with DISC, you look at the role and the responsibility for the position that you're hiring, and you build a persona just like you would for your target market or your ideal client. So if you're hiring somebody to manage your bookkeeping, you're going to want somebody that's a high C, very detail oriented. They look at things logically. They're on top of tasks. You hope that they're going to be very organized. And are they going to be speedy about it? Maybe not, unless their secondary is a D. You might have a CS and they move more methodically and they don't move at a fast enough pace for you. So you kind of have to decide before you're going to hire, what is the persona of this role that would be the most successful to fit into our team dynamic? Sometimes speed isn't the most important thing, and having a CS is great for this position. Now think about like front desk. Front desk at your salon, what's their role? You want them to close sales? Then they probably need to be on the I side more than the S side. S's tend to be a little standoff-ish and don't want to pressure people to make purchases today, where an I is so influential, they think in their head, like, why wouldn't you buy what I just recommend to you? I'm so excited about this. You should be too. Come on, let's get it, girl. And so just knowing some of those traits before you begin the process will help you with your reticular activating system, hone in on, this person fits this mold.
So in sometimes it's really difficult, I would think, and I'm only gonna, stick on this DISC because Nicole brought it up, obviously. But it's good to look at it as a general thing. If you're still dating and you're wondering why you haven't hit who you want to date, or if you're still figuring out what's the perfect team member for yourself, what are the three things or critical things that you should look at, that when you do the DISC testing or any kind of testing is out there, you need to consider that will fit for your culture, that will fit for you. And I'm going to bring an example. You can have any kind of discovery, whether they are type A or whether they're analytics or and they're great no matter what, all the types are great. But when it comes to the dynamic of your team, if you got stuck with that incredible engineer in your software company in an Uber for 3 hours in a traffic, and you had nothing you can talk about or have fun with in that 3 hours, I don't care how great they are, but there's not a good match for your dynamic team. So what do you think, because you've been doing this for a long time, matching and looking at personalities. And so what do you think is the core thing to keep the marriage going, to get a good date, to get a good client, to get a good avatar, even before the personality identification?
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind is identifying character. Like, is this a really great human being at their heart and their core? Because you can't be with a partner long-term who is secretly doing some naughty things behind your back, or you know what I mean? I don't even know. Like, they have to be of good character. You got to trust that when you're not around, are they going to speak highly of you, be your biggest fan, like having a prayerful, in my opinion, spouse, like they want the best for you. Those are really important things, because I don't think the grass is greener. And, you know, when you brought up the car ride in Uber, my first thought was like, hey, opposites attract though, because if I love to talk and I just want you to be a good listener, then it's going to be cool if you're an engineer and you just sit there and but on the flip side, and I've been in like, trust me, one of my things that bother me about people like that is if they don't ask me any questions, like, can you have small talk? Do you know how to relate to others? Because one of the things, especially our software team, we are small enough to be in such great harmony as a group, but also the way we serve our partners is really special because of our team size. We're not so big that we don't know who people are in other departments. We're small enough to know everybody. But with that comes my teaching and leading them that you are in a sales position, period. If you are in a room, let's say you're in a Zoom meeting having a technical conversation with another big company, at the end of the day, they're either going to be sold on us, excited about us, and buy from us, or they're not. And if a salesperson's not there and it's you have to take on that role and let me help. So first off, if you're not open to stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, then this isn't the right fit for you, because you are wearing a sales hat right now and we're all in sales. So that's a whole different conversation, but I do feel passionate about, you may not naturally be this way, but are you willing to stretch yourself no matter where you are at naturally? If you're willing to stretch and grow yourself, then you can be part of this team.
With this podcast, or our show, it's Living a Profitable Life show, we're going to bring you so many great guests and lessons and teachings. So it's really is wonderful to have our partners, sponsors that helping us make this possible for everyone. But it is you who are going to make us better. So I'm asking you to always comment and let me know, how was this episode? Was it helpful? What else would you like to learn? What else would you like to see? It's predicted within the next few years, this industry, this beautiful beauty industry around the world, is going to be growing by 8 to 10% incremental. That means opportunities to grow, to develop, to anything you want to be in this world. The thing is, the more you subscribe and share it with your friend, the more I can make this podcast be the best place for you. Any subject that you find is necessary, let us know. So please subscribe and help us get to at least 1,000 downloads. Once we get there, we'll celebrate. By the way, your story, when you opened up and you said where you kind of let go, I have to say it took me back years ago, and I'm trying to remember what year was it. The kids were very little, and it was my first job in the suburbs because I was working in the city. And we just put the kids in this great daycare. And I said, you know what, I can't commute anymore. Because every time I would commute and come back home, if I didn't make it 6 o'clock to pick up the kids, I would get a strike and $100 fine. I don't know if you had that. So I had to stop. I had to come and work in the suburbs. So I got this first job at this supposedly new big salon, beautiful, just opened up. I was super excited. They had a great reputation in the South Shore. I won't name it. I won't name them because they're very well known. And I literally was super excited for my job. And the very first 2 months, I realized that there is one thing I don't know how to do when it comes to hairdressing. There's no in the world I could ever use a curling iron. See, my background was Vidal Sassoon, so I was never taught of handling a curling iron, right? It was all shears and a brush, one brush, denim and brush, 5 rows, 7 rows, that's it. And I couldn't do the curling iron. So you know what? I stuck to what I know, cutting and coloring, cutting and coloring. But on the third month, after being there for 3 months, I literally got fired. Now I wasn't going to say let go. I said fired. And the reason was because that I was told is because number one, what really got me fired is I didn't clean the coffee maker from the night before. So that was the straw that broke the camel back. And the real reason was, and that's how they told me, they said, nobody likes you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was that. It was none of our clients like you. Every time they want to get their hair done, you cannot do their hair with a curling iron. They don't like that. They like the big poofy hair. And can I tell you, Kati, that was one of the most traumatic times in my life, like you. I literally had to get therapy for a year for that. It really got me. First of all, I was never been fired anywhere. And to let go in such a way, it really broke my heart. It really screwed me up for a long time. But at the end of the day, they gave me the biggest gift. And it's to learn that, yeah, not everybody have to like me. I just have to sit down in an Uber ride with people that I can enjoy them. And we can have a great conversation. You know, at the end of the day, you're not for everyone. And not everyone is for you. You just really got to find the people, like you said, that are to push you, that are going to believe in you, that wants nothing but good for you. So it was really fun for me a year later to open a salon right across the street. It was super great.
Man.
7
Yeah,
years
you did.
to win Best of Boston every freaking year. So, you know, it made me feel really good. Yeah. So
You just have to find your people. You have to find your tribe. I told Ronit when I first came on to Salon Cadence, my previous job, I got pulled into the office because I had bullied someone. And I don't know if you have met me and known me long enough to realize that I have never bullied anybody that not intentionally in my life. And they pulled up a text message thread that I had between this girl and I, and she was asking me to do something outside of my role. And she was like, is that going to stress you out? And I was knee deep in projects. And she said, is that going to stress you out? And I said, yes. And that was bullying. And so those are the kind of moments where you realize that, you know, Kati, you were working with people, they weren't your people. Ronit, you were working with people, they weren't your people. I was working with people. If you thought that was bullying, then we're not seeing bullying as the same thing. We're just not seeing things in the same way. And so ultimately, I love what you're saying about that personality test, because different personality types can work together and you need them in order to thrive. But if you don't have, like Ronit said, that baseline of good communication and connection, then it'll never work out. You've got to be with people that you can sit in the Uber with. So I love that. I love that so much.
I do. Guys, we just did a 360. Do you get that?
Yeah,
360, because it comes down to you have to hire kindness.
Yeah.
Number one core is people who are true to their core and they're kind and they want only the best for you, you know, and they want to empower you and they want to grow you. And this is why, Nicole, you're so successful. Kati, you're so successful. You got your vision is, how can I make things better? And, you know, and I think that takes you to that whole another level, you know, of making an impact in this world and making a big change. So talking about that, let's talk about your successes now. Not many people know that you own a salon, actually two, if I may say so. Have two little children, opened a software company, and you've been running this for quite some time. And I'd love for you to let us know, what was the turning point? What was the turning point of getting to the point, and what does it take to actually have a couple of models in your business? Because I know it's not easy.
Turning point in which business or what way?
Well, so the turning point is you said to yourself, okay, this running a salon is not enough for me. I want more.
Funny you bring that up. Yeah, because I would never have started a software company had it not been for hiring a business coach. So let me just share, I didn't know back when I started the Be Inspired Salon, this is in 2010, there wasn't social media like it is now. And I didn't know what I didn't know. There wasn't access to all these resources, even online, to know about Salon Cadence or other programs out there. So my coach was through a company called Action Coach. And I saw this guy speak and he said something about cash flow forecasting. And I knew I had no clue what that meant because marketing is my world. Sales and marketing, sign me up. Looking at spreadsheets, oh no, girl, that was like a nightmare to me at the time. So I hired him. I invested, and imagine this, you're an owner. I had 750 square feet. It was 5 stations in my salon. I paid $2,000 a month for coaching from him. Now that was a big risk, but I knew that he knew what I didn't. And thank the Lord that I worked with him because we had a 787% increase in profit that first year. Wow. We doubled our size and we hit $1 million of revenue in 1,150 square feet.
Wow.
So we have expanded our first location 3 times before we ever went multi-location. Now, because he had me, because he coached me and taught me how to go from technician to manager to owner to entrepreneur, the salon was functioning without me. So to this day, I have not worked inside of the salons for over 10 years. And that comes to this point where what's that next big scary thing that you're going to do? And it really came to, wow, I created this very special thing for my own business to solve scheduling issues and retention. This is the thing I love to get in the hands of owners. I launched the podcast to try to connect with owners and bring them on as guests. So Beyond the Technique podcast launched back in February of 2016, before it was even like cool to have a podcast, right? Like there wasn't, I think there was a podcast for the salon industry in the UK and New Zealand. There was nothing for the US that was specific to business and marketing. And that's what I wanted to do. So through that channel and bringing on guests is how I started to network and build relationships and kind of street cred with owners who wouldn't know Kati Whitledge from their next, down the street neighbor. So I'm like, this is the way that I'm going to one by one nurture relationships, get to know people, earn their right to do business with them. And that's how we kind of began. That was a big turning point. I never would have been able to do it though if the salons weren't functioning without me. Yeah.
And I love that you're saying that because you had to go from an operator and to a manager to an entrepreneur. It's so funny because we are all entrepreneurs. So there's a level of entrepreneurship. And so what I would love for you to maybe share is, what have you learned from it? So if you could tell Kati 10 years ago, okay, and Kati was all new and her reason was to grow, because if you don't want to grow to a certain level, you don't have to open a company. You don't have to develop a team. You can make a pretty nice income if you were a solopreneur or you can have a business of 1 or 2 employees. And from that, you can make 6, 7, 8 figures. I'm good with, well, not 8, but you can definitely make a good high 6 figures. What I'm saying is if you could just sums it up and talk to Kati 10 years ago, what would you tell those entrepreneurs who really want to grow a company, who really want to take their business into a big, full functioning team. Success comes with what?
I would say what you brought up earlier is that you're not going to be for everybody. To build your tribe, your team, find your people who believe in what you believe in, because everybody comes into your business with their own set of values. They have to be willing to adopt the values you set for your company and the standards by which you envision that the company is going to be run. And if you are all on the same page with that, then you have a compass and the direction that you're all willing to go together. And that is how you uphold and keep everybody accountable to the main goal, which is to love each other well and love your guests well. And the rest will really take care of itself. And those standards are the way you show up to do it every single day. And it's going to look different depending on the vibe of the business and what your special niches are at your business. But that's what I would say. And I would say, Kati, don't take every frickin' thing so personally. People are all in their own heads about their own lives. And those decisions other people make, the yeses and nos that you're going to receive throughout your life, are not because of you. This is their own thing. And you just need to keep your head down, focus, and stay strong mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah. Just like Ken Blanchard said, none of us is as smart as all of us, right? And what does Steve Jobs used to say? Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people.
This episode is sponsored by Vish, the smartest color management system for profitable salons. Vish tracks your color usage, reduces waste, and helps you charge accurately for all color services, so you can protect your profit and grow with confidence. You know that we are all about profit and how we live a profitable life of course, by design. You can definitely make it so easily, and I've seen it, the actual results on the P&L. Vish makes it happen. Now join thousands of salons using Vish to scale smarter. Head to getvish.com and see the difference for yourself. This episode is sponsored by Forest Salon Software, the all-in-one solution designed to help salon, spa, med spa owners really deliver with confidence and really design and drive their company to success. Forest isn't just a booking system. It is your machine that will help you grow your company with smart marketing and real-time reporting, staff performance tracking, and world-class support. And I mean world-class support, because I wouldn't even recommend Forest if they didn't have a world-class support. Now, so whether you're scaling to 7 figures or streamline your operation or need to fix things and tighten things up, Forest can help you make smarter decisions and deliver the luxury experience that your clients and your members really need. If you're ready for a software that is all in and grows with you and support you for a truly team-run company, just visit forest.com and discover why thousands of salons trust Forest. And mention Salon Cadence and you'll get the perk. And so growing is you got to come, I think you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you got to find the people that vibe with you. You know, so we talked about the core of finding somebody that wants you success, but also you got to have, because you're going to get into sticky moments, you know, there are going to be some sticky times. And there are going to be up and down in every milestone of your business. But like you said, you got to find that team and not take it to the heart and not to be so personal. And believe me, I know it, because just alone with Nicole and I, how many times do we just feel like, okay, who am I going to shoot? Am I going to shoot myself now? I'm going to shoot her now. What would be better? You know?
Yeah, or like we planning our murder suicide right here on this podcast. I don't think it's not a true crime podcast, so we should probably just no. But you're right.
Let's talk about marketing. That's you saying it right there. You let everything fall into place, but we do believe that in order to grow, and let's say you do have your compass and you have a great shared vision, But now we need to grow. Now we need to have sales. Without sales, forget it. Forget about it. You just can't make it.
Yep.
So, but a lot of us get stuck in a place of a comfortable place, and we don't push ourselves. So marketing is your heart. What are the things that you can share with everyone that is important for every company to see as a return of their investment, or how much should they invest?
Oh my gosh, so many things with marketing. First off, marketing's everything. I met this young college kid who is choosing the marketing path. And I said, and then he goes, I think I'm going to also do something with business. And I'm like, well, that's good, because no business will be successful without great marketing. Because even if you're not selling a product, you're selling others on working with you. That's marketing. Like, you're selling to your existing team, your prospective team, your existing clients, your prospective clients all the time. And all marketing is great communication, sharing, bringing people in to feel like they're a part of what you have going on a regular basis. So I love it. When it comes to the nuts and bolts, especially when it comes to like the financials, most salons are spending 3% of their revenue on marketing, whereas normal corporate America businesses are spending around the 7% mark. So if you have your 3% of your budget, let's just say you're $1 million salon, so you're spending $30,000 on budgeting a year. I would say that's probably not enough, but I would say you want a 5 times return always. So for every dollar you spend on marketing, you want $5 back. And that is the most simple way to gauge if you get a good return on investment. What I feel really strongly about, and what I will proudly say, is that Maya is the only company to actually show you a return on your marketing dollars. Most companies cannot in the world of marketing. It's really hard to say, and owners feel this too. Like, I just spent this much on this campaign and really can't tell you if that turned out well or not. Most of it feels like it goes out the door, and what's coming back in, I really don't know how to quantify that. And we really work hard to make sure that our partners know, hey, you just generated this many leads through Maya at this cost per lead, and you converted this many new guests and they spent this much. That most of our partners are double, if not triple digits in the return on investment every single month. And that is just a really important thing for them to know. They have peace of mind that this is a great decision for their business. I hope that's helpful, Ronit, in just helping with like the numbers side of what should I be spending and how do I know if I'm getting a return?
Yeah, most people don't even know how to measure whether or not they're getting a return on investment from marketing. So I think that is great.
Yeah, but in returning on marketing, you should be probably getting to yourself at least 4 to 5 times of your investment. So I would say you got to look at return on investment, which is ROI, to everything that you invest in your company. So if you have payroll and it's a production, let's say you have all the operators, so like the people who produce money, people who sells, and let's say your investment is X, you want to have at least anywhere between 3 to 5 times return on your position, right? Mm-hmm. Marketing for sure 5 times. Retail, typically anywhere between 4 to 10 times. But yet in our industry, we only charge, double. That's it, times 2. And it's never times 2. It's always less than time 2. So when you're measuring and you're tracking the success, and by the way, Maya is not only a matching, assessment between a new client and a regular and a salon. It's more than that. You run campaigns, Kati. I don't think many people know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Tell us more about that, because that's something you just endured only recently. Is that correct?
So Maya is more, I think that was one of the things I almost shot myself in the foot. Again, when I was starting a tech company, you don't know what you don't know. And I was so proud that we match and help curate clientele for beauty pros in such a special way to help salon owners grow their business. But then people are like, oh, they're just a matching survey. They're just a survey. And I was like, oh, but no, we're a comprehensive software marketing funnel. And we take your website traffic, we engage with them. I mean, imagine a salon owner listening. Let's say they actually know that they have 1,000 website visitors coming to their website every month. How many of them are you getting their name and email and phone number and all their hair challenges and their skincare challenges and why they're looking for a new salon and why they left their old salon and what they look like and what they want to look like? Like, we are the only tool out there to capture all this data. And then once we have it, we nurture, market those leads on your behalf as your brand. We take all of that off your shoulders and automate it. So there's just so many pieces to the puzzle. We have a leads board.
Share. Yeah. I think you need to share. I think you need to tell us what is the journey that you take in a salon and what goes behind that ROI. How do we maximize with Maya?
Well, there's a few ways, but number one is, where do we place this on your website? It's kind of like you, Ronit, where it's like, we're going to tell you exactly what to do. We're actually going to do it for you because I want it done perfectly. And so we go and set everything up, like all the onboarding to join Maya. We do it. We do the heavy lifting. We add everybody on your team to it for you, their headshots, their bios. We put it on the website where it needs to go. We create the campaigns around it. We integrate with your point of sale. So at this point, we now integrate with Forest, Mevo, Zenoti, and Boulevard. We have Aura on deck. So there's just so many awesome, and Square. So there's just so many awesome ways that this is going to just function without you to help you get better clients in the door that actually stay. At the very beginning, we talked about marriage. What makes a marriage last the long haul? If we don't get that match made correctly at that first visit, what happens with customers? Well, they just don't come back to that business again, because God forbid they run into the person they saw the last time. I don't want them to think I don't like them, but so they avoid all that awkwardness and they just don't come back to the salon. We want to prevent that. So we make it easy. We make it automated. You see in your dashboard your return on investment. It is a no-brainer. It's not magic, it's math. And I think that's the part that you can appreciate from a numbers perspective.
So you run Facebook ads. You also run Google ads. Am I right about that?
So we don't do Google ads.
Okay.
We work with industry website companies. Some you have a great relationship with to help with make sure that SEO, like we want our salons to work with we don't do websites. We don't build your website. We don't design it.
Yeah.
But yes, we can do, especially if you're a Forest user, we have where we go in and we build the ads right in your ad manager, and they are specific to driving people to take the matchmaker, which perform 10 times better than a normal ad. So yeah.
I get that. So, and if you could have just exposed that to any new customer that is coming up, into Maya, how can we optimize their journey with you? What would be the best way to do it? Because most people, when they start, they really kind of start very, very slow. They just want to start with a little bit here and a little bit of there. But if they really want to maximize right from the get-go, what would be the full suit?
They would want to make sure that all of their new hires are put in promptly so that we can help get them booked and busy as quickly as possible. That's, I think, one of the number one struggles for salons right now is they want to hire, but there's that cost of investment, that lead up period to where this new hire is actually producing. We can help expedite that, getting them booked with great clients. But also, every time a client takes that survey, all their information is put into the notes within a new profile created in your software. So you go and you see that they're on the books to come in with you as a stylist. I'm going to be able to see that Connie Smith is struggling with frizzy hair, dry scalp. She's got curly hair. Well, now I can curate an experience that will add on and elevate her appointment today. And also, here's the hair care that we're absolutely going to make sure that you have to take home with you. So I would say this, and not to plug my own book, but we talked about.
I do wanna plug, and here's why, Katie, because the industry needs to learn really specifically that what can it make it easier for them? How can we scale faster? And what kind of a client are we looking for? Because many times we might be spending so much time and money on client acquisition, but it's the wrong client. So then we lose them. And so this is super important. I think it's great. So plug away.
Yeah. So to help empower your marketing team at your salon and even your stylist, that's where I created From First Date to Forever, how to market like a matchmaker. I literally get into how to have a successful consultation, all the way to here are the way that you should be crafting your marketing emails to fill those last minute gaps that you have this week. So it's very tactical. It's not just about Maya. Maya is a little thread within the book. Maya being so special, it is a no-brainer to have at your on your website. Every single owner should have this. It's smart. It engages with the customer. There's nothing else out there that's all about the customer. And here's what they do. They go to your website because am I going to book with you, or am I going to bounce off your website and go look at the other salons that popped up in my Google search? You want a way that's sticky and about them to get them to give you their information and get them excited to come in with you. And the second thing they're looking for when they go to your website, by the way, is, well, okay, I'm going to come in, but who should I book with? And we're not getting it right because we're basing it on our own biases. We're basing it on availability and who we like and who we're going to book you with. But usually it's availability. Well, by curating the right person with the right guest, like you said, you're actually going to keep them. Mm-hmm. And when somebody takes the time to take your matchmaking survey on your website through Maya, they're actually interested. They want to know. They want you to be their guide. They want your expertise. And if they're taking the time to fill that out, they are a hot lead, somebody that's high quality and serious about coming in to do business with you. And there's no other way to find out who those people are and make sure that they're high quality leads. We had one salon on the East Coast that tracked their new clients coming in versus new clients that came in through Maya. And on average, their new clients that came in through Maya spent $40 more per visit than their normal new clients. That's huge. And that's because, they're primed, they're conditioned, they're ready to buy.
And that is huge because it takes 5 touching points for a client to become, yes, I want to buy what you have to offer to me. And now it's the art of keeping the client in. So, Katie, the art of marketing, and the art of marketing comes from constant selling. That means that just because you just acquire a new client doesn't mean you stop selling. Now you have to continue selling. Now the true hard work is starting. So if I could offer to anyone who's listening to us right now, the art of acquiring a client and the art of keeping a client is all in your book.
Thank you.
And in that book of if you have not gotten the book yet, where can we get the book?
If you go to joinmaya.com and click on business resources, it is the very first resource listed for everybody there. joinmaya.com.
I love that. How come it's not on Amazon?
It is. But if you want a signed copy from me, you got to go to my website. And by the way, Ronit, that's a lead gen source for me as well, isn't it? So if you go through there, now I got your name and email. Girl,
we're talking. So we have the most beautiful woman just here in our room. Very successful, that we not only that successful, just telling us everything that it takes to acquire a client, keep a client. And I love that. Are you ready for the last 5 rapid questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, girl. Let me pull that up. Okay. Quickly, what is your biggest failure and what did it teach you?
I think one of my failures is ignoring people and problems. If you ignore people or problems, they'll only get worse. You cannot outrun your issues. You have to eventually face them. So that would be one of the things that I've consistently learned, to just face the fear, show up, have the tough conversations, and not try to hide from it.
Wow, good one. What would you say your superpower is?
I have, I think, two strong superpowers. Communication is one of my God-given gifts, and also my intuition. I think we underestimate the power of trusting our gut.
1000%. If you could have a billboard anywhere, what would it say?
This is a dream at the Super Bowl, like to have a commercial, but it would say, "Let Maya match you."
Love it. Well, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so we can probably manifest this for you. We've got Taylor Swift on our side, so anything's possible. What is your definition of success? As your last question.
Success to me is living in alignment with my faith, my purpose, empowering others through beauty, leadership, innovation, while building a life of love, impact, and legacy for my family and community.
I love that. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
This was great, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you got to run. It was good to
Thank you
have
for
you on
being
the
with me.
podcast.
Yes.
Thank you.
Keep me posted when this goes live. We're going to
Okay.
share this everywhere, and I really appreciate you. Congrats on the launch of this. I love the name. I think it's brilliant. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. I love
you
that
so much.
too. It took us just about a year to decide on the name, but that's okay.
We got there. We got
You got there.
Yeah, I wanted to keep going, but
I put a 1 o'clock in thinking but we're good.
we're good. Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
We got the most important thing. So
Okay.
yeah.